So now we get to really one of the fundamentals, having a mission and goals. Whenever I get a new student who comes out to me, the first thing they get is a notebook. You all know this. And the first thing you have to write down after your name and phone number is what? Your goals. And we write down a short term and a long term, right? If you're just coming for a lesson, the first thing we write down is what do we want to accomplish today in an hour? And then you get a long-term goal. What do you want to accomplish over the course of the next year? All right, what that does is it communicates a lot of really good information to me, but it also makes you get pretty specific on what it is that you want to accomplish, because I'm your partner. When you hire me to be your coach or your teacher, I become your partner. I get very invested in helping you to achieve your goals. If you don't know what you want to achieve, I can't help you. So when you tell me I would like to be X, and the more specific you can be, the more I'm going to be able to help you. So I actually like to help people understand how to have both short and long-term goals, okay? They also have action plans that tie into their short and long-term goals. So we're going to talk a little bit about goals. There are two main and primary types of goals, and I'm going to put them in relatively simplistic terms. We have what and how. So if I think about my long-term goals, I'd have a long-term goal that, let's say, I want to reduce my handicap from 18 to 12. So that's very specific, but that's called an outcome goal. That's what I want to accomplish in 1 year. Okay? So most people have what goals. This is what I want to accomplish. And what goals are fairly easy to come by. Not always, but they're fairly easy to set. This is what I want to do. I want to break 90. So that's my goal. That's my what goal, right? What people, where they tend to break down is they don't make how goals. And that little exercise description that I gave you earlier about sitting down and talking to this high school gal who's shooting 100 and wants to break 90, what we did was we started to get right into the how. How are you going to do it? And she got very specific. I'm going to practice 1 hour per week on my putting in these two areas, 3, 4, 5 footers and 40 plus footers. Those are how goals. So he now has a goal every week. And how? So what can be longer? They tend to be longer term, but how goals tend to be very specific. They could be an hour, they could be a week, but they tend to be very action oriented. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend 1 hour per week putting, 40 minutes of that time on 3, 4, 5 footers, 20 minutes of that time on 40 plus footers. That's how. That's my goal. And you can actually measure this. At the end of every week, she could go back and she could say, did I spend my hour? Yes. Did I spend all my time on 3, 4, 5 footers and on 40 footers? Yes or no. And these can change. So not just a what, right? Don't keep always your focus on just the what. Actually, the way you accomplish all of your what goals is through your how goals. So set an action plan, okay? Champions are committed. When they set these goals, right, and when you write them down, and you write them down on a piece of paper, by the way, what's a goal called that's not written down on a piece of paper? A wish. Exactly. So until you write it down, it's a wish. Once you write it down, it's achievable. And amazing things begin to happen when you write it down. And when you start to achieve your weekly and daily action goals and your how-tos, amazing things start to happen to your golf game. So they're committed. They check every week and every month. How am I doing on my goals? How am I doing on my how goals? Because they realize if they can take care of the how goals, guess what happens? The what just seems to take care of itself, doesn't it? Okay. And they make their goals measurable, so they're very concrete. 1 hour per week is very measurable. 40 minutes per week, 3, 4, 5 footers is very measurable, right? Click the stopwatch, put it down, good.